Good morning. نعندو عاديركم. እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን ሞት ጸሎትን ጀመሪና ስም አብን ወልድን መንፈስ ቅዱስን ሓደ አምላክ አሜን ወአምላክና ናብዛ መዓልቲ ሰላም ስለዘብጽሕካና ነመስግነካ ንደቅና ሰላም ተዕብየልና ባርከና አብ ባህሎምን አብቲ መሰረቶምን ጸኒዖም ዝነብሩሉ ጸጋት ተብዝሓሎም ልምነካ ነዝ መዓልቲ ኩን ዝገበሩ ኩሎም ባርኾም ስም ጎይታና ኢየሱስ ክርስቶስ ልምነካ አቦና በሰማይ ትነብር ስምካ ይቀደስ መንግሥትህ ትምጻ ፈቃድከ በሰማይ ከመሆነ ከማሆነ ምድር ይሁን መግቢዕ ዕለትና ሎሚ ሀበና ዝበደልናካ ይቅረበለና ንሕና ንዝበደሉና ያረህም ንብል ኣብ ፈተና ይተእትወና ካብ ክፉ አድሕነና ከመይ መንግስትን ኃይልን ክብርን ዘላለም ናትካ ይሁን አሜን ሰላም ንአኺ ኦ ማርያም ጸጋ ዝመልአኪ እግዚአብሔር ምሳኺ እንካባንስቲ ዝተባረኪ የኺና ይከርሰ ፍሬስ ካስተባረኸዩ ቅድስት ማርያም አዳምላክ ለምንና ናአና ናጣን እጅል በጊዜ ሞትናን አሜን ስብሐት ለአብን ለወልድን መንፈስ ቅዱስን ይሁን ጥንት ከም ዝነበረ እጅል ለወትሩን ዘላለም ዓለምን አሜን ስም አብን ወልድን መንፈስ ቅዱስን ሓደ አምላክ አሜን
السلام عليكم مقعد زرعنا وأملاخ مسؤول عليكم ربنا زوجوا دم أملاخ يقبله والسلام عليكم شكرا.
Hi, welcome everybody. Thank you. This is the first part of Black History Month. Eritrean history now. As you know, Eritrean history is very rich. ግን ካብቲ ኩሉ ዝተገበረ ቅንጭብ ኣቢልና ጥራይ ተንቆልዑት finding ዝገበርዎ ማለት እዩ their research with the support of the parents ዝተገበረ ስለ ዝኾነ so ናታቶም musical show ኣለና ክትሪት ኣሎ so everybody is welcome. Thank you. ንኽብሪ ኣብ ካይፈልኩም ስዩም ከዓ
مقلاد بزعبا باقيدانه بزح كزرب متقاله جن بارتنايتي بلاك هيستوري كوينو تقارب مقالو بحكي حبوسي انا اتوتي باقيدانه زدورو ابز كوميونيتي اطبقوا اقل كازر ايكونن عاد بدايه تساويتو من سمعت وارسو أبوعزها مستي سلمتي زحلفوا تاريخ تسبيروتي كم نجارو كبلس مقالو تعمق نحبنا نكبرنا مخنياتو نحنا فرنا باقيدانينا دكنا فرنا باقيدانين دكنا عندنا زياتهم قادر يوم زلنا فرنا باقيدانا قينهم يومو بزي عبي إيفنت أتسبقوا كزرب زقبو بلاك هيستوري تي نايتسلمت التاريخ أبزعدي قبو مجلس عير خبر من 400 عامت بعزو سوات كشيتون سوات كان عام ناشطو جنزب كجبرون ترائي كم أزجبرون زنبورو خات زحزن حاولت تغير لهم أبع البريستل أبع ليفربول كترو خلها بزحت حقتها وصلنا يتسلم تخبها لك عليمو بارتنايز هيستوري زخينا نحنا كم كوميونيتي نقعد مهنا بدعم حقوس مشين تي إيرترا كوميونيتي معرب من دنتا حقوس إيجنس.
Thank you. Val has been a big part of Father Kidani, so I'm going to give her a chance to say about the school of Father Kidani. Welcome.
Yes. Hello, everybody. It's lovely to see you here in your new home. I used to visit you regularly at All Saints Catholic College. And actually, I did come myself with Nuna, who's the new supplementary school coordinator. We did come with Father Kidani here, and it would have been last December. We came and we looked around the building, we looked in all the rooms, we sat on the settee over here, and Father Kidani loved this building. He really liked the building. He was sorry it didn't have any outdoor space for playing, but we did see all the lovely table tennis tables, and we knew it was close to the Westway Sports Centre. And what he loved about this building was the fact that all the parents could come in, all the adults could come in. It was always difficult at the school because the school had a lot of regulations they had to, and rules they had to abide by. And so it was hard for the parents to relax and have coffee like they used to. But he realised that this building was perfect for that. It's got a nice kitchen, and this is exactly the sort of event that he envisaged, that you'd be able to do this easily, comfortably, and enjoy it. And I know that if he was here now, he would be absolutely loving it. He would love the fact that you're all dressed up, that you've all been learning Tigrinya, that you're learning about your history, and he would be absolutely loving this event. So I know for all of you it's been a very, very difficult time, and for everybody it was the worst possible thing that could happen. But I think the fact that the school's been able to continue, and he would be so pleased about that. And I learned something new about Father Kidani all the time. I've just been watching the PowerPoint going there and saw the picture of him going to 10 Downing Street. I didn't know he'd done that. He was the most amazing person. We loved him at Westway, and I'm so happy that you've got a nice school here. You're learning Tigrinya, your community language, and can I say to you, learning another language is one of the most valuable things you can do, because you can use that at any time in your life in the future. You never know what you might want to do, and having another language like that opens up a whole new world to you. So well done, all those people that come here on a Saturday, the parents that get up early and bring the children here to learn Tigrinya. It's something that's really valuable, and I wish you well, and I will see you again in the future. And I'm looking forward to seeing and learning more about Eritrea today.
Thank you, Val. Mona would like to say a few things.
Hello everyone, good morning, Assalamu alaikum. I think Val said a lot of things that I wanted to say. So I'm like Val, very proud of all of you guys to have continued and done your best. And I'm sure Father Kidani will be looking down at us. I'm very proud of all of us. I think he's going to be very, very proud that everybody's still learning the language, getting to know their country, where they come from. And I just want to also say thank you to Simrat and Sinead, because they were in the office with me every single day for the last few weeks, talking about it non-stop, printing and reprinting and learning new skills and thinking about all the small details, beside everything else they have to do in their life, of course. And everyone else in, Gheez Rite, the teachers, the supporters, Father Friend, Uncle Mo, everyone here. We all love Gheez Rite, and well done for everything you guys are doing. We are so proud of you, and it's a great job. It's absolutely great job. Thank you very much, guys, for having us as well.
Thank you very much. I would like to welcome you again. I'm really excited to see all the faces. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Father Ephraim, everyone. Really appreciate the resources we have. Everything here is done by the children themselves. They've been working very, very hard, and really we have to give them credit. We teachers, we did nothing. Seriously, this is all their hard work. And if Father Kidani was here, I can imagine him standing like this, with his confidence and making us jokes. And we really miss him, but we're looking forward to continue his legacy. And thank you very much. Enjoy the show. Enjoy it.
Turkey colonized Eritrea from 1557 for 300 years. The Egyptians, Kahanabites, took over Eritrea from Turks in 1860. Italian colonized Eritrea in 1882 towards 1941. Britain defeats Italy and takes control of Eritrea in 1941. The UN decided to federate Eritrea with Ethiopia, despite Eritrean wishes for independence in 1952.
The national flag of Eritrea was adopted on December 5, 1995. The flag combines the basic layout and colours from the flag of the Eritrean People's Liberation Front with an emblem of wreath with the upright alive branch derived from the 1952 to 1962 flag. The red colour in the flag represents for the bloodshed in the struggle for Eritrean independence. The blue colour in the flag represents the bounty of the sea. The 30 yellow leaves in the wreath represents the 30 years spent in the struggle. The green colour in the flag stands for agriculture and livestock of the country. Have you ever wondered why the features so prominently in Eritrea? During Eritrea's War of Independence, the camel was essential for transporting, often carrying loads of 200 kilograms for more than 10 hours a day. And so it was adopted on the country's nation emblem. On 24th of May 1993, the camel was seen as being instrumental to our struggle. The population used camels to smuggle items as night to EPLF, Eritrean People's Liberation Front. The camel is very important for the people in the western lowlands of Eritrea. They use the camel for transporting of goods, riding, and in some areas for meat conservation. The giant sandal sculpture on a roundabout in Shida Square in Aswan. The Shida is the Arabic word for sandals. The Shida was worn by the independent fighters about 30 years ago. We still wear it to this day to remind us of the dead.
Everyone is going to look around for the exhibition displayed. So we welcome if Father Kidaris, Father Ephraim start and follow on. So you can ask the children if you have any questions. Thank you very much.
The dignity of his people, the clarity of his thinking, which was expressed in his newspaper articles of the 1940s, is now available to a new generation compiled in a book, Sir'at and Gheez, Ato Wanda Ab. In Asmara, he was promoted to direct the entire SEM school system, being a teacher, which he continued to do till 1942. During this time, he popularized the use of Tigrinya and published 2 textbooks which will remain standard texts for over 20 years. In 1942, he left the SEM and became an editor of
Most of the pictures are self-explanatory with the writing next to it. So for further read, there is also next to the pictures roadmap of Eritrea, state map of Asmara, and a pocket travel guide. So you want to give some donation for that? It's all going for the church that Father Kidani is building in Eritrea. So I just wanted to say that.
Very few men and even fewer resources had taken on march large force, capturing the imagination of the general Eritrean population in the process. Hamid ibn Sauter was martyred on 28 May 1962 at a place called Kota. Having learned about Eritrea in the future, we will do our utmost to help our country, Eritrea, and our people.
As you know, today is a day of remembrance for Black History Month, and Eritrea is part of the Black community. At the heart of African colonization and slavery, we in Eritrea have suffered for a long time due to colonization and oppression. Today, most African countries are contributing positively to the world, and in Eritrea, we are contributing in the field of sport, mainly running and cycling. In fact, Eritrea is the only black country to achieve such high success in cycling, which was previously played by white men. Today, allow me to introduce you to a young man called Binyam Gomai, who is part of the black community and has achieved greatly in his career. Binyam Gomai is an Eritrean cyclist who has recently won a silver medal in the under-23s UCL World Championships. He was born on April 2nd, 2000, and he's not only a second-place finisher in the World Championship, but also the first Eritrean as well as African to achieve a medal in the World Championship. He made one of the fastest comebacks in history, going to second in very little time. Gheez was born in Asmara, Eritrea, where he started his cycling career and was inspired by his cousin, Meron Teshon. He was introduced to cycling. He started quite late at the age of 12, but it didn't stop him from achieving greatness. Gheez started off riding a mountain bike, but when he was 15, he started road racing. Here is a quotation from Binyam himself shortly after achieving his silver medal. Yesterday I called my family and they told me to remember when I was a kid. He revealed, my father said to me, hopefully you'll become one of the biggest riders in all the world. You'll be a world champion. So I was on the phone to my father and my whole family and they said for sure you can do it and take a medal.
Well done.
Daniel Tekahamat is an Eritrean cyclist who is one of the first black African cyclists to compete in the professional cyclists in the major world tournaments. In 2016, Tour de France, he grabbed the headlines when he became the first black African to be named the King of the Mountain and wear the polka shirt after winning the mountain stage of the Tour. Daniel Tekahamat has been a trailblazing cyclist who is not just an Eritrean champion, but also an African champion. Having learned about Eritrea in the future, we will do our utmost to help our country, Eritrea, and our people. Thank you.
Sarah Paulina Haddish is an American actress, comedian, and author. Some movies that Tiffany was in was Girls Trip, Night School, The Card Counter, etc. She was born on the 3rd of December 1979 in Historian, Southern Central Los Angeles, California, and is now age 41.
The African Continental Cycling Championships are a series of cycling races held annually in Africa, where the African cyclists decide who will be the champion for the year to come. They've been held since 2001. Since 2010 till 2019, Eritrea won the cycling championships in the team trial. All the cyclists who competed are Debse, Ramson, Teglit, Daniel, Natnil, Johnny, Marin, Mexe, Mehawi, Elias, Tesfun, Ambiol, Awit, Marin Abraham, Metko, Salem, Yaakov, Sirak, and in the Women's Championships are Fitsun, Urasum, Rehab Seat, Johanna, and Freguesi rode recently and was born on the 1986. Marin Robson is the last A-train who is in the MTN Cooper is the last A-train to do the race. Natnil is an A-train professional road bicycle racer who currently rides for the UCI World Team Cofidis and is a two-time African cycling champion in 2012 and 2013. Mebse Debsi Araha, born on the 16th of June 1991, is an A-train racing cyclist who currently rides for the UCI Continental Team Bike Aids. Meron Telbshan Hagos is an A-train cyclist who most recently rode for Bike Aid. Mehawi is an A-train cyclist who currently rides for the UCI World Team Astana Premier Tech and even competed in the men's road race at the 2020 Summer Olympics. Daniel Temple Hamnot is a professional road racing cyclist who rode for the UCI Professional Continental Team Cofidis. A-trains adopted cycling from the Italian colonists and in that nation's mountainous terrain and dry climate helps local cyclists to excel at the sport. A-trains became fascinated with the sport when they watched the Italian cyclists racing in the streets in the 1930s, when their country was an Italian colony. Cycling in Eritrea grew from a vestige of colonial Italy, and although many signs of that colonial past are gone, Eritreans have claimed cycling as part of their modern culture. In the new millennium, the country gained notoriety alongside the African cycling league.
Alexander Isak was a Swedish professional footballer. He played as a forward for the Real Sociedad in the Sweden national team. Starting off his professional career with Eke in 2016, Isak represented Borussia Dortmund and Williams II before signing with Real Sociedad in 2019. In this photo, Alexander Isak is showing respect to Nipsey Hussle, who recently passed away. Isak was born and raised in Solihull, Mississippi, in central Stockholm County by Eritrean parents. He started playing for the youth team of one of the largest clubs in the area, the team he supported, Eke, at age 6. He scored his first competitive goal for his club against RBC and Spaniel in September 2019. He scored his first goal for Real Sociedad in February 2021. He finished his debut season with 16 goals and 12 appearances in all competitions.
Mama Zainab, revolutionary who campaigned against FGM and an advocate for women's rights. An aging Mama Zainab to a Western visitor. You have reached the pinnacle of economic advancement. Have you managed to invent something that makes you younger?
Dr. Lanish. Dr. Lanish was born in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, from a well-off family and grew up with a comfortable life. After she finished her studies, she became a face and dental surgeon. She went and she studied in Bulgaria, which is in Europe, so she left her country. And once she finished, she came back to Eritrea and joined the EPLF and served people. After taking basic military training for a few months, she was assigned to be a medical unit. And she started a facial and dental reconstructive surgery centre from scratch. She then, as a newly graduate reconstructive surgeon, with no etiquette, medical equipment, it wasn't an easy task, but she went through it powerfully. She sometimes didn't sleep for 24 hours, and some of the surgeons she performed were miracles. She is unsung. She is an unsung hero for her generation, and she should be honoured, appreciated, and dedicated for her exemplary work.
Until 1997, when the Nakfa was introduced, the legal tender in Eritrea was the Ethiopian bear. You would have heard the described as Kershi or Genzeb, Senti, Lira, and even dollar. The Nakfa is divided into 100 cents. The Nakfa is hedged into the US dollar.
The Eritrean currency. The Eritrean currency is called the Nakfa, named after the historic town of Nakfa in the northern part of Eritrea. Eritrea, having achieved its independence on 24th May 1991, issued in its own currency on 8th November 1997, naming it the Nakfa. Nakfa is a legendary town in the mountains of Sahel. It was liberated on the 23rd of March 1997 and has the distant honor. Nakfa is a legendary town in the mountains of Sahel.
The Nakfa is pledged the US dollar at a fixed rate of US. 1 equals ERN, 15 between 18 November and 31st December 2015. The Bank of Eritrea began replacement of all Nakfa banknotes.
Did you know that a black African-American man made the Nakfa money and coins?
Apparently, Nakfa notes and coins were designed by a black African-American guy called Clarence Holbert and printed by Gheez and Rite in Germany. He quoted, "What it salted was that many Eritrean artists took about 100 pictures of everything from farmers. After working up international designs based on those pictures, Holbert said he visited Eritrea to get a better understanding of the country and its people. Arriving in Asmara, Holbert said he immediately realized that Eritrea is an amazing place and that he should make Eritrea's own money.
Here is Eritrean money. Gheez. Gheez is the language which births Ethiopians and the Eritreans speak. The origin of Gheez is South Arabia. Gheez is normally read from left to right. Gheez is the ancestor of the modern Tigrinya and Tigray languages of Eritrea and Ethiopia. The oldest known inscription in the language dates from the 3rd or 4th century and is written in a script that doesn't indicate vowels.
The Bible was also translated into Gheez between the 5th and 7th centuries. Although the language stopped to be spoken between 900 and 1200, it continues as the liturgical language of the Eritrean Orthodox Tewahedo Church, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, and Beta Israel, the Jewish community in Ethiopia.
Facts. There are approximately 6,915,000 total speakers of this language.
There are approximately 4,320,000 in Ethiopia and approximately 2,540,000 in Eritrea.
Tigrinya is also spoken by immigrants from these regions. This is Gheez.
These are the 9 tribes of Eritrea. Introduction and history. Kunamas are indigenous Eritreans and ethnic Nigerian Nilo-Saharan found in Eritrea, Sudan and Ethiopia. Over the time they migrated into these countries and farmed there. They live in villages with homes made of straw huts and they speak Kunama. The village inhabited by Kunama are remote and far away from our civilians. Food. The Kunama eats injera, a kind of pancake, along with sauce, usually sholo, made from chickpeas. They sometimes eat millet. They add a variety to their diet through carrots, tomatoes, onions, and garlic. Clothing. Kunama dress for women usually consists of brightly colored clothing and several pieces of beaded jewelry in their hair, wrists, and around their neck. The men usually wear white cloth with straw hats, formerly nomadic. Today, Kunama are sedentary farmers who work collectively in tasks such as building homes, farming, and collecting supplies together.
Mama Hubert, aka Hubert Adam, was born in Gaza Lamza, a small village just on the outskirts of the historical town of Debriga. Mama Hubert has shown a remarkably noble character at a very young age. She was always very outspoken, funny, almost comedian, and above all, she was very fearless and courageous. Mama Hubert left her village when she was around 15 years old and moved to Asmara where she got married and bore 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. Then she moved to Yemen to seek employment. While she was working as a domestic worker, she was recruited by her employer, a Yemeni national, to work as an undercover agent for their movement. When they have totally reached their goal, the newly formed government of Yemen at the time recognized her participations and awarded her a big house as a token of their appreciation. And this house was the one she had used to shelter and protect the secret elite group of the Eritrean freedom fighters who arrived to Yemen after splitting from their comrades ELF to start a new movement by the name Hibzawi Highlat. At that critical stage, they were at a very high risk of being captured by various enemies who were pursuing them. If it wasn't for the courageous Hewitt, intervention who knows the outcome of the Eritrean struggle could have been different. Hewitt didn't just provide them a place to stay, she also managed to hide them under her wings from surveillances of the many enemies and people who were trying to track them down at the time. Among here, many guests were most of the current Eritrean leadership, including the president.
Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan was born in the Eritrean city of Kerem in March 1909 and passed away on 11th of September 1987 in Cairo, the Egyptian capital where he had lived in exile. Sheikh Ibrahim Sultan had been one of the foremost campaigners for Eritrean independence and had been a prominent figure in Eritrean politics from the 1940s until his death in 1987. He had formed the Muslim League, a non-religious political party which advocated for Eritrean independence in the 1940s. His campaign for Eritrean independence has seen him travelling to the United Nations to present his case for the independence of Eritrea. He had tirelessly and steadfastly campaigned for Eritrean independence throughout his life. Having learned from Eritrea in the future, we will do our utmost to help our country Eritrea and our people.
بزمع التزي مزيات عشنا كور حونا بسعنا فازر كدانا لباسي نذكره قالنا بزح سميتات يحاول سرناي أبا كداني أبز كوميونيتي زغبرو سرع نملو جزينا نملو موالنا هنرسع زين سرع حب سرع سريح حديثه وهناتو التي أبز جزيزي تعم تدلين نزلون بتحرجون بزح تدلين نزلون ناي من النت والداي وأيدنتي النبلو نأبا خدانا بركتو قليلا ينورن نزل كوميونيتي زي قام مجمريا سمانياتات هتحيزو ساعة زي حلفتو بترجع تقلقل سبي نيرو أكار نايزي نتسلم تاريخ نايزي هاجر زقينو كنذكره مقارنة بزحارون تسمعنا يقبا أبا خدانا مجمريا سمانياتات نزناتنا ولدو بمرعان بخالين عقل جيلو عندنا نتوم زموسو دكنا وننتقنا قرتي ناتهم من النت عبقدة تساويتو أنقوا من بحلو من التحليلات أو طرح يتعرفته حجونا بسالتها ولدو بسيحو نزل حجن نريد زلنا حساناتون أركب لهم مالتي بارا بخيدانا تي حكينا مجلسيو ملاقبو سلستو ولدو نقولنا عنا سلستو ولدونا إرفان كوميونيتي أبزهاجر متابلنا يو I'm so grateful to be part of this historic day, remembering Father Kidane as a friend, as a mentor, and as a leader of the community in West London. Father Kidane served the community starting from early 80s. He started his service, he provided his service to my generation, and then continued to serve my children. At the same time, he's serving the third generation at the moment, which in the last few months. So Father Kidane is, I can say, the contact person of 3 generations of Eritrean community in London. So we'll always remember and put in our hearts Father Kidane, because he was the main social engineer of our identity, I can say, in this country. And I'm so proud to praise his name and mention his name as part of the big history, the Black History Month of October. Thank you very much.
I am surprised by our kids. The beautiful history of Eritrea, the peaceful history of Eritrea has been told by them in the most unique way. At this day, I actually wish that Father Kidane saw this. What he did in the last 3 generations is going to continue, because we have seen the legacy. So I would like to say thank you to Father Kidane, the leaders of this school, the management committee. I'm not going to try to mention names, because would I forget any of them? Maybe, I think I'm not going to mention names, because the parents, the teachers, the children. It has been organized beautifully. Thank you, everyone.
It has not been easy for anyone, but I'm sure Father Kidani would be very proud of everybody who have played their role, children especially. He dedicated his life for children, so he would be really so happy today. As Jacob said, if you start to mention names, there is always the danger of forgetting somebody. So, all of you, Father Kidani is proud of you. We are so happy. It's absolutely beautiful day, and I don't remember anything like that before bringing the Eritrean history inside the context of Black history. As we are Black, as we are Africans, we belong in that category. So we have history and it has to be told. And the children has told us so beautifully. Well, we cannot mention every hero in Eritrea. Everybody is a hero for their country. So just they have to pick few. And we are really proud of what they have done, their parents, the teachers, everybody, the organizers. So God bless you. We will try our best to keep the legacy of Abba Kidane. Still we are struggling, but hopefully everything goes smoothly. Thanks and God bless.
Okay, and Uncle Mo, want to say something?
Most of you do not, some of you do not speak Arabic, but I will do it in Arabic. Eritrea is full of history. I remember one guy who was graduated in history, Eritrean history. He was having his second degree in Cairo. Then I asked him whether there is a room for other students to study. He said, even all Eritreans study Eritrean history, they cannot finish it. Very historical country. أقصد إيش هو؟ أنا يعني سعداء على الأبرار اللي فاتوا قدامنا استشهدوا ابتداء من عبد القادر الكبير، ابتداء من باشا نصر الدين سعيد اللي استشهد في انباد الخوف بتاع عنسبة، بعدين دجاج برهة وفي دنبا سراي. ما انساهم هذول بعضهم اولادهم استشهدوا لاجل اريتريا في ميدان اريتريا وحرروا البلد من العدو القاشم. ثم اولادهم احفادهم دحين قاعدين يموتوا لاجل الوطن، قاعدين استشهدوا الى الان. ونحن شعب اريتريا بكامل وراء قيادتنا ووراء علمنا، وكلنا جاهزين للاستشهاد لأجل إريتريا المقدسة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I really appreciate the day is beautiful and everyone's really, I can see so many smiling faces. And as Uncle Mo or Father Ephraim mentioned, we cannot mention all the heroes. There's so many heroes in Eritrea. So don't feel sorry if you don't mention some of the heroes. Everyone's a hero, but we have to choose the children actually as the ones who chose the titles. So it's not up to us. I know there's so many heroes should be included here. Don't forget this is our first time. So hopefully for next year we will be ready, we will be more punctual. Hopefully, yeah, more ready. Yeah. So thank you for coming. If anyone wants to add, we will come here. Otherwise, I think we will go. Okay, I'd go and say something. Yeah.
አጋጣሚ ብቆልዑ ከምዚ ዓይነት ክትርኢ ብጣዕሚ ፅቡቅ እዩ። ካብቲ ሓደ ዝመሰጠኒ ኣጋጣሚ ብ1987 ማማ ዜነብ ሓኪማ ነይረ ን2 ዓመት ማለት እዩ። ኣብቲ ዝነበረቶ ግዜ ከባቢ ወግረት ትበሃል ቦታ ከባቢ ናቕፋ እዩ 2 ሰዓት أكبر بخون كم نعفا مالتي كل تعمل زاخبر الدنيا مالتي كل قانق عقدني كل قانق صنعاتي كل قانق فازر كده نزلوا بسوي مالتي تموراس كل زراعه بقولعه كتنتن سمعه كل هو تعمير مالتي وعنزو معتزي ناتا كوينو ممسعي مرعي بتعمي يحقس مالتي كافتي كندز مستكا كافتي سلام قوان نبينا برهان ميرا مالتي ماما زينب كل كلهم افتو دحور اتحساس واغنا سماع عسرا خميت ديكم ديتم خرز بزنورو الساقن بزعبا معرنت بزعبا حدمت بزعبا فقرت زمر نيرا قدم مالتي جفت جيزة تخونكا كتحسبا خلقا كميز نبرت بلا حد من بارامو بدكنا تذكرمو على خبر سمعني لا تعبوس كده
Father Kidani would have loved, he would have probably posed like this and watched everybody. It's so nice. Thank you, Val, Uncle Mo, Father Ephraim, see you, everyone, the teachers, they've done so much work behind preparing tonight. She was here. We were texting each other until 4 o'clock this morning, so this is not, don't do this, know this, you know, so much. So I appreciate everybody's effort to make it a beautiful day. It's all for our children, because if they can see this as their identity, is who they are, that's where they came from. So they will give back to the community, to the Eritrean community, to the community at large, because Father Kidani was not only about the Eritrean community, he was about everyone. The Muslims, the Christians, you know, he had friends, Somalian friends, everyone. That's why we made this all international African as well as the Eritrean. So thank you for making it a beautiful day. Enjoy the food. Mamaharan, I would like to say thank you so much. And the kitchen lady, Rosina. Thank you for all the parents. Anila, Rosina wants to say something. I told Dania Altavit.
جاني كلهم كلات اللي كونت سي exact اللي هم باتي خوينا نزبيت تمرتي نزخلنا هنجبر نزبط عن نزقدل حبتنا مسكن لقبا أمها أنا زخل دلوان جرات
عربي
زخل دلوان جرات جي نحن عايزين نشتري غيرنا اللي كنا نسكن سي ساعة مسكن لقبا thank you كلكم
سلام بتسمعنا كمان ስለዞም ኩሎም ኣብዚ ተግባራት ተዋፊሮም ዘለውን ነመስግነካ ነዚ ማዕዲ ስለ ዝባረካ የተመስገን ነዚ ሕጂ ንቕበሎ ማዕዲ ከዓ ናይ ሰላም ናይ ፍቕሪ ማዕዲ ክትገብሮ ንመፀነካ ስብሃት ንኣብን ንወልድን ንመንፈስ ቅዱስን ይኹን ጥንት ከም ዝነበረ ሕጅን ወትሩን ዘለዓለም ዓለምን ኣሜን
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم بارك لنا في طعامنا وسقانا وشكرا والسلام عليكم
Buon appetito.
من قلبنا خون الساخي معاد لو مسافرت وينكي أتبرعاد نايت مال تعريوم